Hi, I'm Monash, co-founder of Daylight, and this is my reflection on my Fastrack journey so far. One of the most unique things about Fastrack is how it's real world focused. It wasn't just theory, we were constantly learning by doing. And what stood out the most was how the topics each week always seemed to match what we were struggling with. It was almost crazy how, whenever we got stuck, maybe say custom interviews or branding, the next session would directly address it. And I responded to this full process by committing to it fully. We did exactly as we were told. We constantly talked to our customers, stress tested our assumptions, and regularly checked in with the teaching team to make sure we were in the right direction. Through this, I've really sharpened my ability, our team's ability to adapt quickly, apply feedback immediately, and iterate based on real insights. Personally, I've seen a major growth in my presenting and public speaking skills. I used to be very hesitant, shy, but after multiple pitches, impromptu presentations, and feedback rounds, I now speak more confidently and clearly. It's become a strength I'm proud of. Working in a team through uncertainty also taught me a lot about dynamics and performance. It's not just about dividing work, it's also about trusting each other, having difficult conversations early on, and staying aligned as the project evolves. We've had a few moments of friction but we learned to communicate better and support one another's strengths. One thing I always made sure to do during this entire this journey was to keep networking. I talked to the mentors who came, the industry experts, connected with them, and whenever I needed advice, I'd reach out to them just to get their point of view. And every interaction gave me a new perspective, and it's a reminder that you never know who might challenge your assumptions or open a door for you. Through all this, I've learned that I'm more resilient than I thought. I'm comfortable in ambiguity now, and I've developed a mindset where I seek feedback rather than avoid it. And another skill I've developed is flexibility, especially with my schedule. I used to stick to a very strict schedule, but Fastrack taught me that in life, startups, it doesn't really run on your timeline. Customers, industry experts won't always be available when you want. So I've learned to adapt, shift priorities, and still move forward without getting stuck. If I could do one thing differently, it would be to not change direction so quickly based on every new piece of advice. Throughout the journey, we spoke to so many amazing mentors and industry experts. And while every insight was valuable, I've learned that not all advice would fit your exact path. I take the advice to heart, but also take a step back to weigh how the pros and cons to make sure that each decision truly aligns with our vision and what we are building towards. Looking ahead, I see all of this transferring to my career, especially customer centric mindset, being comfortable with constant iteration, and not being afraid to speak up or reach out for help. One skill I want to improve in the next phase is stakeholder management, balancing different expectations while keeping the project intact. It's a skill I know will be very crucial in both the startup and corporate world. Fastrack hasn't just taught me skills, it's shaped how I think, how I lead, and how I learn. Thank you for watching.